Thank you, Sarah. I'd like to thank everyone for joining the Troy Alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority today for our May Week and International Awareness and Involvement Committee presentation on beginning conversational Spanish for our pre-taping of May Week. Today, we have with us chapter members and also our president, Sarah Erica Starr Henderson, and our chair for the May Week Committee, Sabrina Johnson. Our guest presenter for today will be Ms. Vanessa Montes. She is a licensed professional clinical counselor, licensed professional clinical social worker in the state of Montana and Texas. She obtained her MSW degree from Washington University in St. Louis. She obtained a BA in social work from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Vanessa has over 15 years of experience providing therapeutic services to children, adolescents, immigrants, individuals, and families who were affected by abuse, addiction, trauma, loss, divorce, and family violence. Most recently, she worked as a mental health social worker with the Air Force and the Army, where she provided psychotherapy services to active duty members and their families. She provided violence prevention briefings and outreach to commanders, sergeants, and base organizations. She utilizes a blend of solution focused, cognitive behavioral, client centered, and cognitive processing therapy. Vanessa is also fluent in Spanish and is committed to meeting the needs of her clients and making them feel supported during the therapeutic process. Before we jump into our conversational Spanish for today, I wanted to inform the community of what international awareness and involvement is within the chapter of Troy Alumni chapter and Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. It plans and implements programs that promotes knowledge and understanding of other nations, backgrounds, and cultures. It promotes assistance to address educational and physical and mental health and economic development needs throughout the world. And the May Week Committee plans and implements the chapter's annual May Week programs, emphasizing scholastic achievement and educational opportunities for both young people and adults, and highlighting the chapter's programs and progress during the year. What is it that we know? We know that in the US, that a number of people who are in the US speak a foreign language. 68 million people, according to the US Census Bureau, speak a foreign language in their home in the United States. And Spanish is the most commonly spoken language, foreign language in the United States. With its close proximity to Central America and ongoing immigration from other countries like Puerto Rico and Cuba has increased those numbers. The top foreign languages spoken in the US, again, are Spanish, Chinese, and as we can see in the bottom half, we have Haitian, Creole, and German. So a lot of people in the US now do speak dual languages, and I think that it's important to emphasize that in other countries, most students will learn a second language within the classroom. We're going to allow our presenter to, can you all see our presenter?
Yeah.
I think we can't see your screen, you know. You were sharing it earlier, but then it
But
disconnected.
now you can't see it?
No, we just see you.
Okay. Thank you. Now, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to back up. I'm not going to reread, but I will go back through the presentation since you were not able to see to catch us up to this point.
Can you
Again,
make
this
the
is
screen bigger, Buffy,
larger.
again? Yeah.
Yes. Better?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Again, I will slowly go back through the presentation so that you can see the slides that I have already referenced. And here we are at the point where we're going to talk with our presenter. Vanessa, I was hoping that they could also see myself, you, and the presentation at the same time. As usual, me and the technology are not working well today, but I want to thank you again for joining us for this lunchtime hour to take away from your day to be able to share with us. So if you would, I have right now the phrases that can be used when we travel and we speak Spanish, just some common things. But before we get started, if you'd like to just share anything before we get into the conversation portion about yourself or about your experience as a dual language speaker in the US.
Yeah, so welcome everybody. Thank you for spending your lunch hour with me. And Buffy, I think most people can see who's speaking and the screen. It may not
Okay,
seem like it on your end, but like on my end, I can see everybody on the side and then I see the big screen. So hopefully that's what
great.
oh wait, someone just put, if you choose side by side gallery view, you can see the screen and the speakers.
All
Okay,
right, great.
so yeah, so yes, again, my name's Vanessa. I worked with Buffy a few years back when I lived in Alabama. I'm actually a military spouse. That's why I've been all over the place. But now I am in San Antonio, Texas, which also happens to be where I'm originally from. So it's nice to be back here and to practice my Spanish a lot more because we are a pretty fluent city here in San Antonio. A lot of Mexican Americans, Mexican people. So you hear Spanish spoken a lot. You hear it on the radio, you see it on the billboards, it's everywhere. So, and I know in Alabama it's not necessarily like that, but you definitely do hear
Yeah,
people speaking Spanish. And of course, as you travel throughout the country or even out of the country, it's nice to be able to speak Spanish. And I will say that I always share this funny story. When I lived in Germany for a little while, I couldn't speak German. As you probably may know or have ever tried to hear it, German is a very difficult language to
mhm.
learn, but Germans like to vacation in Spain during the summers. So I would speak Spanish to the German people and they would speak Spanish back to me.
That was a great experience then.
Yeah, so but that just goes to show you, right, that a lot of people around the world really do, they know Spanish. So it's kind of,
Right.
yeah. So
Right. It is definitely one of the most common languages. I can remember, Vanessa, even 10 years ago when I worked with students, half of my population were Hispanic or Latin, of Hispanic or Latin descent. And all of them spoke a separate language at home. And it just amazes me that when you talk to students from other countries, that most of them either speak 2 or 3 other languages.
Yeah, yeah, that it
Yeah,
is cool. Yeah. So I
yeah,
am definitely trying to teach my boys. They know some Spanish, but I definitely want them to learn another language too. Because yeah, it's cool to be able to speak different languages for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, I would like for our presenter, I would like for you, Vanessa, as our presenter, to also allow the ones who would like to try, I will definitely try. Once you give us the translation, and I'm hoping that this is going to be, something fun, interactive for everyone who wants to participate. So I started off with these 4 things that you could actually ask when you're traveling, but you're welcome to add more to the conversation if you would like. And I welcome those who would like to come off mute and try to do so as well. So Vanessa, I'll leave it in your hands and then I will move to the next slide once we finish this one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I thought these 4 were really good, in that they're pretty common ones. So where is the
Mhm.
bathroom is donde está el baño? You might have seen in some restaurants too, baño, B-A-N-O, that's restroom.
Mhm.
So in a pinch, if you can't ask somebody where the baños are, you can look for baño, B-A-N-O. And usually
Okay.
there's going to be similar, the outline of the male or the female, so you know which is which. So,
Right.
¿dónde está el baño?
¿Dónde está el baño?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Oh, I did
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Does
you
anyone
did.
else want to try? ¿Dónde está el baño?
I'm just gonna say baño.
Yeah, you can do that. Yes, that is very good. That is you said that in a question form. I heard that. Mhm.
Yeah.
And this is the other funny thing, Vanessa. I took 3 years of Spanish in high school and 2 in college, and I still am not fluent.
It's okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, you can always just say baño. If you remember that, right? Yeah, they'll
Okay,
know what you're talking about.
great.
The next one. So I speak very little Spanish. So hablo un poco de español. So hablo means to talk. Un
Mhm.
poco means a little. And then de español, Spanish. So español, Spanish, that's the same. That's
Are
Spanish.
you
Go ahead.
are you saying hablo or habla?
Hablo. Because you're
Hablo.
talking about yourself.
Okay.
That's a very good question. When you're asking, you say hablas español? Do you speak Spanish? But the O is
Ah.
me. Yeah. Now you're getting technical here. That's masculine
I
and
know.
feminine. But
Okay.
yes, so I'm talking about myself. Hablo un poco de español.
Hablo un poco
De español.
de español.
Mhm.
Okay. Hablo un poco de español.
Yes.
Ah,
So the
hab-
next, oh, go ahead.
okay.
Yeah,
Does anyone else want to
you said
try?
that one well, Buffy.
Thanks. Does anyone else want to try? Okay, we'll go on.
Okay, how do I get to the hotel? So this one's gonna be tricky. So,
Okay.
¿dónde está el? So, hotel in Spanish is hotel, but it's the same. It's spelled the same, but you don't pronounce it the same. This is where it gets tricky, because hotel becomes hotel. You cut off the H and you start with the O.
Okay.
Hotel. So, how do I get to the hotel? ¿Dónde está el hotel?
Okay, that's
Okay.
easy.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I say that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
¿Dónde está hotel?
Yes. El hotel. Yes. El is
El,
the
el,
hotel. Yeah.
okay.
But you got
El
hotel right.
hotel.
So if
Okay.
you're in a pinch too and you need to see, you're looking at something and you see hotel, I mean, it's going to be spelled out. It's the same spelling, but it's pronounced differently.
Hotel.
Yeah. Hotel.
¿Dónde estás el hotel?
¿Dónde está? Just
Oh,
no, yeah. ¿Dónde
okay.
está el hotel?
¿Dónde está el hotel?
Hotel. Yep.
Hotel.
There you go.
¿Dónde está el hotel?
Very good. Yeah.
¿Dónde está el hotel?
Oh, very
Ooh,
good.
that was
Okay.
good.
That was real
¿Dónde
good.
está el hotel?
Oh, y'all are going to know where the hotel is for sure. Good. Yeah. So then the last one there, where is a good place to eat? This is it. This is an important one for sure. So, and this one's a little bit longer to translate, but ¿dónde está? Again, ¿dónde está can be used for like where is or how do. So that's why I use ¿dónde está? So ¿dónde está un lugar bueno para comer? So lugar is place, bueno is good, para, for, comer, eating. So that's why it's kind of a long one. So again, ¿dónde está un lugar bueno para comer? So bueno is good. You've probably heard that one. And comer is eat. C-O-M-E-R, comer.
Say it one more time.
¿Dónde está un lugar bueno para comer?
¿Dónde está un lugar
Un lugar, ajá, bueno
bueno para el comer?
para comer.
Para comer.
Yes. Ajá.
¿Dónde está un lugar bueno
Para
para
comer. Para, P-A-R-A.
para
comer.
comer?
Ajá.
Okay.
What about just saying good food, like in a question?
Oh, here we
Good
go.
food,
She's
good
gonna
food.
just cut it down to one
Just the
word.
short, yeah. Good food. Bueno.
You can say bueno comida. So
Bueno
bueno is
comida.
good and comida is food.
Bueno,
Comer is to eat. It's again, yeah. So buena comida.
Bueno
Yeah.
comida.
comida. Bueno,
Mhm.
comida.
Yeah. I like that phrase.
Yeah.
Bueno comida.
We're gonna get to the hotel and ask for Bruno comida.
Bueno comida. Yeah, they're gonna be like, okay, they want to eat.
Yes,
Yeah, in
yes.
the context, it'll make sense. But yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try one more time before we go to the next slide.
Okay.
¿Dónde está un lugar bueno para comer?
Yes. ¿Dónde está un lugar
Un lugar.
bueno para comer? Uh-huh.
Okay.
Or like, and I don't know her name because it just says Troy Alumni. You can say bueno comida, and that works too.
Okay. Bueno comida.
Mhm.
All right.
I have a question.
Great.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, if we're visiting Mexico or Spanish-speaking areas and we're going into a restaurant, how will we be able to read the Spanish language?
Oh yeah. So I would definitely before your trip look at or maybe carry a card or maybe put it in your phone so that you know pollo, P-O-L-L-O, is chicken. So pollo. Beef is usually going to be res, which is R-E-S. What's the other one? Pork is puerco, P-U-E-R-C-O. And then seafood is usually going to be pez, P-E-Z is fish. Camarones are shrimp. So Camarones. So those are kind of the main food groups. You might know cheese is queso, guacamole is avocado. If you're trying to say not spicy or ask if it's spicy, spicy, we say caliente, which also translates to hot. But if you
Okay.
don't want it spicy, you say no caliente. If you do want it spicy, un poco caliente. But those are the main meats that we use. Honestly, if you go like to Mexico, you're gonna get a lot of either beef or chicken, or if you're on the coast, you're gonna get a lot of seafood. I'm a fan of, if you can't pronounce it, you probably shouldn't be eating it because you probably never eaten it before, and it's different when you go to another country. Like, try not to get too adventurous. Stick with the pollo, the res, and the puerco, the things that you know. So that's a good question though.
That's great advice, because I
Thank
can
you.
remember, Vanessa, years ago when we lived in California, Mexican and Hispanic and Latin food tastes totally different here in the South than it does in California, because you're closer to the border and it's more authentic. So I would agree with you, like stick with what you know, right?
Yes.
Chicken, beef, pork, right?
Yes, because I have
Mhm.
a similar story, Buffy, when I went to visit Costa Rica, a beautiful place, and I had tilapia because I thought, oh, it's safe. Tilapia. I've had tilapia.
Right.
Ooh, the next day I was so sick.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if it was because it was real fresh, like it just got off the boat. I don't know, but it was just a little too much for me. So I
Right.
probably should have stuck with something else. But I was
Mhm.
I was in Costa Rica for like 7 days. Every
Yeah.
other day, everything else was good. It was just that one time I had tilapia. Now I still don't eat tilapia. I don't mess with it. Even
Oh man. It happens when you get something that upsets your stomach.
yes.
Oh,
Hmm.
those are great questions. All right. So let's move to the next slide. Phrases that can be used when you're in an educational setting.
Yeah. So how can I assist you? ¿Cómo puedo ayudar? So how can I help is another word. I wouldn't say, and cómo puedo ayudar can also be just out and about, right? If you see someone in distress, or maybe they look like they need some help, ¿cómo te puedo ayudar? But the problem though, I thought about this, is if you ask them that, they're going to most likely try to respond in Spanish, and then you're going to be like, "Ooh, I don't know how to help you now." But maybe they'll understand, they'll do a little Spanglish, but and I see this a lot. I don't know if you all see this a lot, but maybe you're in a store and there is someone that's speaking Spanish and they're trying to get their point across. I always
Mhm.
interject and like, ¿Cómo te puedo ayudar? And usually it's because there's miscommunication going on. But again, that's if you're adventurous and you want to do that. But that's how you say that.
Right. And I was more thinking about that one, someone asking us, how can I assist you, so that we could
Oh,
understand.
hmm, okay. Yes. So if someone
Um,
tells you, ¿Cómo puedo ayudar? They're asking you, how can I help you?
right. Oh, wow. So, okay, let's try this one again. So tell us that one again.
¿Cómo puedo ayudar?
Como puedo ayudar?
Mhm.
Anyone else?
¿Cómo puedo ayudar?
Ajá. ¿Cómo puedo ayudar? Ajá. I think what I'll do, Buffy, and I should have probably done this before. So I translated all these onto a Word document and I'll email it to you so that way you can reference
Oh,
what
that would
was
be
what.
great.
And hopefully
Thank
you
you.
remember by seeing it, like, okay, that's how it was pronounced. Yeah. So the next one, how long have you been in the area? So it's a long one, but ¿qué tanto tiempo has vivido aquí? So, ¿qué, how, tanto, long, well, tanto, how much, tiempo is time, how much time has vivido, like has vivido, lived aquí, here. That's how I translated that. Is that what you meant? How long have you been in the area? Meaning like
Yes,
how long have you been living? Yeah.
yes.
So
And
that one is,
what was the last part after Evito?
so ¿qué tanto tiempo has vivido aquí? Aquí is here. If you ever hear someone say ven aquí, that
Yeah.
means come here. Mhm.
Que tanto
Tiempo has vivido aquí.
que tanto
Tiempo, don't forget time. Tiempo
oh,
has
uh-oh.
vivido aquí. Because time is like how long have you been here? Like how long
Okay. Que tanto tiempo
tiempo has
es
vivido
has vivido aquí?
aquí? Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So do you need to see the counselor or principal? Again, this one's really specific and it's the word for counselor is kind of long.
Okay.
So do you need to see, so how we would say that is necesitas hablar, like do you need to speak con el consejero is counselor. So again, necesitas hablar con el consejero. Do you need to speak to the counselor?
What did you say after hablar?
Con, C-O-N, with. Con is with.
Necesito hablar con el
Consejero.
cejero.
Yeah.
Cejero. Cejero.
Consejero.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Don't leave me hanging, guys.
Everybody got real quiet now that it's getting real technical, but that's okay.
Necesito hablar con el cejero.
El consejero.
Okay. All right.
And then the last one, would you like to discuss it over lunch? That one I really didn't know how to pronounce. Y'all are gonna laugh. I didn't know how to really pronounce it or how to translate that one
That's okay.
because it's not something we would normally ask. But
But
so
that's good. That's
yeah,
good to know.
yeah. But like if you want to talk over lunch, a kind of informal way to say that would be ¿Quieres hablar más cuando vamos a comer? So would you like to talk more when we go to eat?
Okay.
So
And see
¿quieres
that
hablar or quieres hablar más? Want to talk more cuando vamos a comer, when we go to eat? Or maybe somebody's talking and you're really hungry and you want to eat and you would say, ¿Quieres hablar más cuando vamos a comer? Like that's the hint. Let's go eat because I'm hungry.
okay, that one was fast, Vanessa. You got to say that one again for me.
Yes. Okay. So ¿quieres is the first. Hablar más cuando vamos a comer.
Catas hablar más cuando vas a comer.
So quieres is the
Quieres,
first word. Quieres, do you want?
quieres
Yes.
hablar más cuando
Cuando
vas
vamos
a
a comer. Yeah.
comer.
Mhm.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
making notes.
You're doing a great job, Buffy. You're doing a great job.
I'm making notes.
Okay.
We're taking you with us wherever we
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, next slide. Phrases that can be used when you are shopping. We love to shop, Vanessa.
Oh, I know. These are very important. So how much does it cost? ¿Qué tanto cuesta? How much does it cost? ¿Qué tanto cuesta?
Okay.
Que tanto cuesta?
That's it. There you go.
Mhm.
So be ready when they tell you 100,000 pesos. You're going to be like, what does that mean in English? And then they'll say
Yes.
100 pesos.
And
Yeah.
is that $1?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, it might be how it equivalates.
I think so. Yeah.
It might be less actually, because
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
unfortunately, in a lot of Spanish-speaking countries, the dollar is worth more than their
Right.
currency. Yeah.
Right. How much does it cost? Anybody else?
Mhm.
Okay, give it to me again. I'll try.
¿Qué tanto cuesta?
Are you saying
¿Qué
say the middle? Okay, I got K.
So it's spelled
Canto.
T-A-N-T-O.
Canto.
Uh-huh.
Canto.
Cuesta.
Cuesta.
There you go.
Que cuanto
Tan,
cuesta.
tanto.
Tanto. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Que tanto
Cuesta.
queso.
Uh-huh.
Cuesta.
Cuesta. Uh-huh.
Got it.
That's
Not
good.
really, but I got it.
That's good. Yeah.
That's good. I think that was great. All right. Next one.
Does it only come in this color? So this one I translated, not word for word, but
Right.
so solo viene en este color. So color is the same spelling, but again, you pronounce it differently. It's color. So again, solo viene en este color. And that roughly translates informally into, is this the only color you have?
Okay. Solo viene en esta color.
Yeah, color. Yeah, very good. And hopefully you know what color you want, because then they'll say, we have rojo, which is red.
Rojo. We want rojo. Yes,
Verde,
red.
which is green. Okay, so rojo. Oh, I'm glad I started with rojo. Red. Okay.
Rojo.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, can I get a different size? Okay. So tienes, do you have tamaños, which is sizes, and then diferentes are different. So again, tienes tamaños diferentes? Do you have different sizes? Is how that translates.
Tienes tamaños diferentes.
Uh-huh. Tienes tamaños diferentes.
Okay.
And so large is grande, medium is mediano, small is chico. Those are the main ones. Small, medium, large. Extra large is más grande.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just realized Chico's is a small store.
And chicos is for small women, isn't it? Isn't it like petite
Yes.
sizes?
Yes,
Yeah.
not for me.
I know. Yeah, you know, I
if
never
I
paid
had
attention
known
to
that-
that. I didn't know that.
If I had known that, I wouldn't have gone window shopping at Chico's.
Chicos. And that's not even a Latina running it, I'm sure. And they use our word, chicos.
Yes.
And grande
I love
is
that.
large at a lot of places that serve drinks, isn't it? Grande size.
Oh yeah, because they've realized that most Americans like big old margaritas or big old drinks. So grande is in, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We won't be ordering a Chico margarita.
Chico. Chico
No.
or grande? Yeah, when I go like here in Texas, when I go and I have a margarita with my sisters, they always ask Chico or grande. I'm like Chico, because no, I don't need that much tequila.
Mas grande, mas grande.
Más grande.
Yeah, mas grande is gonna be a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah, so then the last one is this on sale. Okay, so this one is again, it's loosely translated, but
Okay.
está a la venta. Venta is sale or like, yeah, venta is sale. So if you're out and about and you see venta, V-E-N-T-A, that means they're having a sale.
Okay.
So how you would translate it is this on sale? Está a la venta? Or, you know, another word, I'm going to put another translation in
Okay.
my document because I just thought of it. Another way you can ask that is ¿Tienes descuento? Which is you're asking for a discount. ¿Tienes descuento? I'm going to put that in there too. But that's another way you, because you're asking for a discount on what you're shopping for. Mm-hmm.
So it's either está a la
Venta.
venta,
Uh-huh.
está a la venta, or
Tienes
tiene de
descuento.
descuento.
Yes.
Tienes descuento.
Cuento. So think about discount, how it's spelled D-I-S-C-O-U-N-T. Descuento is spelled same thing. It starts off the same. D-I-S, cuento, then it turns into C-U-E-N-T-O. Descuento. So it kind of sounds like discount. So
Got it.
that's what you're asking for. Yeah.
Está a la venta.
Very good. Who was that? I wasn't looking at the screen.
Sale.
Get it.
Oh, very
Yeah, I need to
good.
know that.
Obviously, that phrase was very important to her because she got that one on point.
Yes, to all of us.
Mhm.
So here we are at the general conversation portion of words and phrases, or anything that you think, Vanessa, that will be important, just phrases or words that you think that might be important.
Yeah, so I had
conversation.
a few, and then I'll open it up if you ladies have any that you want me to translate. So most people know hello means hola.
Yes.
Goodbye means adios. And a cool thing about adios, I don't know if you all know this. So goodbye translated, so adios translated means with God. So when you're
Oh,
saying
nice.
adios in Spanish speaking cultures, we're really saying go with God. A lot of people don't know that.
Awesome.
Oh, that's nice.
Adios.
Adios.
What time is it? ¿Qué hora es? What time
¿Qué
is
hora
it?
es? ¿Qué hora es?
What
Okay,
time is
order
it?
A.
When you're saying your name, so mi nombre es. Mi nombre es. And then you just say your name.
Mi nombre es Erika.
There. Oh, okay. You didn't have to get
Ooh.
fancy with it. I said just say your name. But that was good because they would pronounce you Erika. There you go.
So Vanessa,
Uh-huh.
when you said about saying your name, so you don't say like Senorita Sabrina?
No, that's too formal.
Oh,
You
okay.
would do that in a classroom setting. Or if you get introduced to someone, they call them Senora Vanessa or Donna Vanessa. That's usually an older lady. So then you might say it, but usually no. It's pretty informal in most Spanish speaking countries.
That's a
So
good
those,
question.
Yeah, those were just a few, those were some other ones that I wanted to put out there. But yeah, so let me open it up. What other translations, other phrases or words you would like translated? And I'll put it on the list here. Anything
Feel
else you
free
can
to
think of?
chime in.
Yeah, what if you don't like something? So like, no, I don't like, or I don't want it.
Okay, so those are good ones. So I don't like, let me type that here. I don't like, it's actually really common. It's no me gusta. No me gusta. I don't like. I don't
No me
want.
gusta. No
No
me
me
gusta.
gusta. And then I don't want, again, no me, I don't. Want, no me, how do you say, I don't know. No, you wouldn't say no me. You would say no quiero. There it is. No quiero. I don't want. Like no quiero, you would say, like if somebody's trying to give you food, no quiero comer. Or if somebody's trying to give you a drink, no quiero beber is drink, to drink. Or you use no quiero for anything. Whatever it is you don't want to do, no quiero. Or no me gusta. If you don't like water, no me gusta water, like you don't want to go out to the ocean or anything. Yeah, so that's I don't like and I don't want. Someone put in the chat, no spicy, I think it was. Yeah, how spicy is it? So how spicy is it? So how I would, and we said it at the beginning, spicy is caliente. So how you would ask that is está caliente. And then again, if you want to know how hot it is, un poco is a little, and then un poco or más, more, is like more hot. Un
Okay,
poco and más caliente. Yeah.
so that's este caliente un poco y más poco.
Yes. Está. Está
Está.
caliente. Mhm.
Okay.
Un poco is a little and más is more. Yeah, that's a good one.
Do we have anything else in the chat that you can
Well,
see?
I don't think so. I think that was the only one that
I'm
was.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
No, that was the only thing in the chat.
I was gonna say not for me, but maybe someone else. How do you say, are you single?
I love it.
Okay. So how you jump in it? I'm trying to translate it in my head and then type it in Spanish for you. So I would say probably the most casual way to ask it is there's two ways. Here I am. I'm thinking of all these Spanish songs where they ask that too. And I'm like, no, you don't want to say it like that. So you want to say, and I wrote it down. Okay. So are you single can be tienes. So tienes means like, do you have? And pareja means
Pareja,
pareja.
is it a P?
Yeah, it's a
Or
P.
pare,
Pareja
pareja,
is partner. That one might be a little hard. Another way you can ask it is tienes. Again, tienes, do you have?
tienes.
Novia. Novia is
No.
girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Novia. Novia.
Tienes novia?
And then esposa is wife.
Oh,
So
okay.
hopefully they
Tienes
don't got the wife, but
esposa is what we really need to know. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. But again, there's a lot of ways you could translate that, but I'll start with tienes pareja or tienes novia. Because yeah, you would ask tienes novia, girlfriend.
I have
And
a question. How do you tell them to slow down when they speak to you? They speak very fast and I can't get it.
Uh-huh.
How do you tell them to speak a little slower?
Okay. And I'm writing it down. Okay. So this is, you're only probably gonna laugh, but do you remember a few years back the big song that came out, and it was a big Spanish song that came out and it was popular, and Justin Bieber did a remix, but it was called Despacito?
Mm-hmm.
That means slowly. Despacito. So
Yeah.
really, you would say that for anything. If they're
Despacito.
driving and it's too fast, despacito. If they're talking and it's too fast, despacito. That means take it slow.
Ah, I like it.
Despacito.
And it's a very
Despacito.
famous song, so you won't forget that. Despacito means slowly.
Despacito.
Despacito.
Uh-huh.
That is awesome.
Despacito.
Another question, please.
Yes.
Did you find learning English very difficult?
So funny story. I actually grew up only speaking English. My
Okay,
mom,
okay.
my mom grew up in an era, so my mom's 80 years old. She
Bless.
grew up in an era here in San Antonio where the brown people were what what's they were punished in the schools for speaking Spanish. My mom vividly remembers, and my dad too, when he was alive, he would tell the same story. So they were punished for, and they were prohibited from speaking Spanish. So when they had kids, they did everything to assimilate us. So I'm the youngest of seven. All my siblings, we all have white names. I'm going to be honest. You got Terry, you got Michael, you got Yvonne, you got Vanessa. You wouldn't think that we're Spanish because we got, these white names. And we didn't learn Spanish. We would hear it when my mom definitely talked to my grandma. Like my grandma, she's gone now, but my grandma spoke very little English. She was primarily Spanish. So I would always joke with my mom, well, how do you speak to your mom? Because my mom would try to say like her first language was English, and it wasn't, because my mom to this day, she has a very heavy accent. So her first language was Spanish. So I only grew up speaking English, but I knew some Spanish words. It wasn't until I moved away to Texas, from Texas to Wisconsin, that's where I went to undergrad, and I started meeting these white people and they were speaking Spanish. And I was like, what? How do you know Spanish better than me? And then they would be like, yeah, how do you not know Spanish? You're brown. So then I started learning Spanish, and I kind of taught myself. I took a couple classes, but I really taught myself. It's really cool what I tell people that want to learn a little more Spanish. And now it's so great because of the internet and technology, but Netflix, right? If you watch anything, watch it in Spanish. Something that you've already watched, right? Like maybe your favorite movie. Now watch it in Spanish and it'll translate it for you and you'll start to pick up words. But that's what I started doing. I started watching shows in Spanish. I started listening to Spanish radio primarily. And then I started reading books that I had already read, like the Harry Potter series, and I started reading them in Spanish. And that's how I taught myself Spanish.
That's a
Okay.
And
great tip.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
But now, so funny story, full circle. Now my mom, 80 years old, I talk to her only in Spanish, but she
That's
didn't learn
beautiful.
Spanish. If it's funny now because now she's so comfortable and she only speaks to me in Spanish. And I know she's a little proud that I finally came full circle and I can speak Spanish. And out of
Right.
all my siblings, there's only two of us that are fluent. The rest, there's a complex where we're not going to speak
Right.
Spanish. People are going to think we're immigrants and we didn't just cross the border. This is a whole thing. This is a whole nother
Right.
session. But yeah, there's still some stigma around whether you speak Spanish or you don't.
I'm glad you shared that. Thank you for sharing that story with us, Vanessa, because it's important for us to hear those stories. You know how impactful
Yeah, it's
stories
our
can be.
history, right? They're trying to
Right.
rewrite history. I mean, this happened, 60 years ago in Texas. Like this wasn't far
Right.
removed. Like this is, yeah, I know. I try to tell the boys all the time. Yeah, this
How?
is, yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I just try to tell them in the history, the history books, like the stuff that you're learning, it's not far removed, baby. Like that's in the last 100 years. Like
Right.
MLK, that wasn't like 100 years ago. That was,
Right.
this last decade. Like this is still an issue.
Right.
just because it's in the history books and you think it's done, it's over,
Mhm.
not really. So I really do try
Right.
to teach them our own history because they're not going to get it in their everyday schooling for sure.
Right. Well, we thank you so much, Vanessa. You know that how I feel about you, but I
Oh,
think
thank
that
you.
my sisters will feel the same way, and I'm hoping that when this airs, that others are able to glean a lot from this presentation. I'd like to thank everyone who attended today. I'd like to give a special thank you again to Vanessa for taking out her lunch hour to be with us, our chapter president, Erica Starr Henderson, the members of the International Awareness and Involvement Committee, all the committee members that engage with the May Week Committee, and definitely our committee chair, Sabrina Johnson. And Sabrina, I'm going to turn it back over to you just in case you have something additional that you'd like to share with us before we leave for the top of the hour.
Thank you so much, Sora Buffy. This was an awesome, awesome May Week event. Thank you to our guest, Vanessa. You did an awesome job. It was very educational and informative. And I think we really learned a lot. So thank you so much. And we'd like to thank all of our guests that tuned in today. We appreciate you sharing with us. Thank you to all of the Soras of Troy Alumnae and other Soras who participated. And we hope that you continue your Spanish journey. Again, thank you to our May Week committee members, our president, Sarah Erica Starr Henderson, and also we ask that you stay tuned. Our May Week is May 1st through 5th, and we want you to participate in all of our activities. And this will air Friday, May 5th, and we will be sharing that link so that you can invite others to watch and engage and participate in this international awareness event. Again, thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Oh,
Did I say that right?
gracias.
Gracias,
Gracias.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Adios.
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 Adios. Adios.
Thank you.